In this example here, I've taken my navigation bar and I've fixed it again up in the top. So when I scroll, it stays where it's at. However, as you can see here, when I scroll up, this image goes on top of it and not underneath it. And the reason is I've taken and applied the position relative to my hero image. And this can be a problem when I have multiple items using positioning, and ones that are down below take precedent because they're the last ones displayed on the site. They get the stacking order and get on top, right? Well, there's a tag we can use with this where we can layer and stack things how we want. And so I'm going to go to my nav tag and I'm going to type in z-index, and I'm going to use the number 1. And we'll refresh this and we'll see how that image now goes underneath. Now, if you know it or not, by default, all items get a z-index applied to them by browser defaults of 0. And so when I take this navigation and I make it 1, it's almost like a stacking order that I'm going to make sure it's on top. And that way, when I go up, this is seen on top and this is seen as, this is 0 and this is 1. Let's look at an example of that. Now, in this example here, I have this yellow box underneath, which is my z-index that I'm going to change. And we have other items on the page. This item is a z-index of 6, 4, and 2. And if I change my z-index to 3, you can see how it goes on top of the 2. If I change it to 5, it's on the 4. If I change it to 8, it goes on top of the 6. Now, these other z-indexes here are using auto. And these are automatically being determined, and essentially that kind of resets them back to 0. So when I go to 1, it goes on top of all of these, but not on top of those. And again, it just kind of helps you stack items when you're using the various positioning types throughout your page. And you've just got to be a little bit careful on when you use those. So think of this like if you're using a sticky navigation or an absolute or fixed or whatever that might be, you need to watch those z-indexes. These numbers can also go to the negative, so I could put like a -1 there and it will go back and go underneath, or that's all actually going on top, which is kind of fun. And then we can put that on top if we want to as well, and you can kind of see how that goes. So hopefully that made sense.